The purpose of this screencast is to demonstrate how Southview students can access ebooks through the website MackinVia, which is located on the Media Center homepage, the online catalog. To begin, locate the Southview Middle School homepage. You may do so by going to www.ankenyschools.org, selecting Schools, and then dragging down to Southview, which will bring you to this page. On the left-hand side is a link for the Media Center. Click on that link to open the possibilities and drag down to the second one, Southview Library Catalog, and select that option. This will open up the catalog on the home page. Now please note the two tabs at the top of the catalog. If you click on the Catalog tab, this is a page that allows the user to search for books and magazines, equipment, and other resources that the library offers. Clicking back on the Home tab will take you back to where you can see library policies and a symbol linking to a number of other web resources. In a nutshell, the web resources are sorted by color. On the top left-hand row, these are all reading or writing and research tabs. Google Drive, Google Apps, EasyBib, which helps with collecting bibliographies, Digo, which is an online booking. Down here, the white tabs are reflective of those sources that are databases that qualify as quality sources. The green tiles are links to websites that are frequently used by teachers. One notable one is Khan Academy, which is a great resource for math students who need a 1 to 5 minute video tutorial on how to solve all different kinds of math problems. Over here in the purple, these are tiles that link to application type websites, such as Screencast-O-Matic or Prezi, which is a PowerPoint on steroids. But what we're going to be working with today are the blue tiles, specifically the MackinVia tile. So if you would, click on the MackinVia link, and that link will open up to the MackinVia window. Now this is a generic login for first-time users today. Now we're going to eventually set you up with your own password, so today is the only day that you'll be signing up in this manner. What you want to do is, this first one is normally blank, so we're going to enter our school name, Southview Middle School, and you can see by the time I get through Southview that the option is there just as a drag down. So let's select Southview Middle School in Ankeny, Iowa, and the user ID and password is the one that you need to get from your English teacher. These are not allowed to be published, but they are the ones that are up in the computer labs. We have them on cards in the library, but your English teacher has these. So get the username and password and go ahead and type those in so that you can go select the login box. Once you have correctly logged in, you'll notice that you have all these different books listed here. In fact, there's about 1,688 titles. If this page does not show up, you may get something that says, unable to find, do you want to go home? Click on the home and it will take you to this page. The first thing that we want to do before we do any searching is to establish your own individual account. So if you look up here on this green backpack, this is where we're going to start. Notice there's no words or anything here. That's because we're in as the school generic user. In order to create your own account, you want to click on the backpack, which opens up a number of options. Select any one of these gray boxes and click on it. Now it's going to ask for your user ID and password, which you don't have yet, so you need to register with a username and password. Use your student ID number from school. It's usually a 7-digit number. Then use the password that you use for everything else for school, the Google password, which is usually your 6-digit birth date and your 2 initials, first and last name. Sometimes you have to capitalize them. Use whichever one you use for your Google password and to log into computers. Okay, it's going to ask you to confirm. Then put in your first name. Whoops. Put in your first name, put in your second name. Let's change this to Anne. You'll see why here in a minute. Now, the email notification is optional. That's up to you. I recommend it because then if you are out on vacation over the weekend and you've forgotten a password or you're having an issue, you can contact MackinVia through their login here. But if you don't want to use it, you don't have to. You can come see the teacher librarian and she will provide those for you. But if you're going to use it, use your student ID number at students.ankenyschools.org. That's the student password or the student email. So once you get that, click Save and then watch what happens up to the backpack. The wording next to the backpack should now say, welcome your name. And in this case, I went with a student. Okay, so now that you're logged in, let's find a book that you might be interested in using. I'm going to show you a couple of research tools and then one of the features of the book. You can search by all the titles. You can see that there's over 1,600. You can search by groups over here on the left-hand side. These are groups that your teachers have culled resources for you, and they may say, hey, for this American imperialism unit, use at least one of these sources. You can search by categories, which are similar to the genres in our library. If you want to read a biography or memoir about somebody, search by biography and memoir. If you would rather read something supernatural, there are 30 options there for you. You can pick one of those. That's a really good book. But what we're going to do is start off, we're going to view all titles, and I'm going to show you a way to get rid of some of these elementary level books because some of these were put in here by AEA. So we want a higher interest level. So if you go over here on the left-hand side, under Advanced Search, we're going to drag down to Interest Grade Level, select it, bring the left side up to about 4th or 5th grade, and bring the right side down to Adult or Young Adult. Click Apply, and now you'll see that that number has dropped by about 300. Another way that you can search is just if you know we have a title or you want to see if the title's in here, you can search up here for the name. For example, let's search for The Giver. So I'm just going to type in Giver, and you can see that a student has already checked out The Giver. It is due 3 weeks from the time it's checked out. You can have one of several options when you're looking at books. If you check them out, any notes that you take in them, any highlighting that you do will stay in the book for as long as you have it checked out. If you just open now and do some reading, that's fine too, but it will not save your highlights. It will not save your notes. Once you close out of the book, it loses all your note taking. Maybe you're reading this book and you want to save this one to read later. You can click Add to Favorites, and then up in your backpack when you log in, if you click on Favorites, you'll see that the messenger has been added alphabetically, so that it just keeps a list of books that you may want to read. But let's go back and take a look at The Giver and see some of the things that you can do with some of the books. Now, it depends upon the publisher, but these books offer some interesting features that hard copy books do not. So I just selected on Open Now, and the first thing that I want you to see are some of the notes that have already been taken. Anytime you see a little colored symbol off on the side, that means there's a note there. So if you click on it, it shows you the highlighted passage, and then it shows you the notes. I just took them really fast. Over here, the passage was underlined, and then the notes were taken. So here's how you do that. Let's navigate the page numbers, which you can navigate this way. You can navigate a page number down here. Let's say that I want to highlight this passage right here on page 8. I'm going to click and drag, and I've highlighted my passage, and I can make it whatever color I want. But now I want to add a comment to it. That's this squiggly line. So I'm going to add what I think about this comment. Perhaps mother had a high position in justice, which might come into play later in the book. Justice is a pretty big deal and can be scary if you are on the wrong side of it. Okay, I don't know, I'm just doing a little bit of foreshadowing here. Now the nice feature here is that you not only highlight and you not only take notes. Let's say you come across a word like prominent and you're not particularly sure exactly what it's about or exactly what it means. You can click on that word, select the other options, select the dictionary, and it will bring up the let's try another one that I haven't highlighted. Let's try apprehensive. Bring up the dictionary, and it will tell you what that means. Fearful of what may be coming. So if there's a word that shows up and you're unfamiliar with it, you can find it immediately right there. You can also select to have parts of passages read to you if the feature is available. It's not available here, but some of the novels do have a narrator with them. Another thing that you can do is you look up over here on the right-hand side. You can search for keywords or phrases. You can cite this. Look how this works. We use MLA 7. It automatically gives you the correct citation. You can add it to your EasyBib account right away, which you'll then be using for all your papers. But I'm not going to take the time to go through the EasyBib part. One last feature is the bookmarking feature over here that I'm going to go over today. And you can have as many of those bookmarks as you want. Let's say you want to remember certain things. Let's say this is as far as I've gotten to read today, right here. So I'm going to bookmark the next chapter so I know where to start. So finally, up here is the book icon, which opens up all the bookmarks that you've had, tells you what pages the bookmarks are on, and then it also shows you all the notes that you have. So you can print those off at a later time. You can edit them now. But these are the features that make ebooks sometimes a little bit more convenient to use than a hard copy book. Once you're done using the book, you can close it, and you're back to the MackinVia reader icon. Just click out of the page. So one last thing that you should probably do today is to log out up here so that you're back to this. Now let's log in using your own personal account that you just created. Mine was a student with my ID number. Make sure that you can get back in. Once you've established your own personal account on MackinVia, you can download the app for iPhone, for Android, for iPads, for most tablets, and you can read this anywhere that you can take your phone. And that's how you use MackinVia with the card catalog.